Saloon cars are the commonest on our roads. However, manufactured with a ground clearance based on Japanese and European roads, these saloon cars struggle to navigate Ugandan roads.
Now, if you're driving over high irregular bumps or humps or ditches, the car under ride tends to get damaged. So you can damage your gearbox, you can damage your engine and start leakages. So because of that need, people try to raise the car.
Car owners are rising to the task, literally, by installing locally fabricated wheel spacers. Brian Kasana, a mechanic with Easy Ride Motor Rescue in Masanafu in Rubaga Division, says installing spacers gives saloon cars the much-needed ground clearance.
Kati ekiteekesaamu space eno eba ya inchi emu. Ekiteekesaamu space akwongera ku buwanvu bwa mmotoka ereme ebbanga yeekuuta wansi.
Kasana adds that the ideal is to install 1-inch spacers, which are fitted between the tire and the upper body of the car.
Kati mulimu abamu alaba ng'era ekyali nnyimpi era kyakola n'addira space eno n'asalako wakati waayo half an inch n'agyongerako.
Depending on the type of car and mechanic, installing spacers can cost between 250,000 shillings and 500,000 shillings. However, Paul Kaganzi, an automotive mechanic who also owns Duke's Garage in Nalia, discourages the use of wheel spacers, saying they affect the stability of a car.
The manufacturers will design the size of the tires, the appropriate suspension, in such a way that this car should be stable even as you drive through sharp corners at certain speeds. Now, when you alter the height of this car artificially by adding spacers, you will not have taken into consideration the center of gravity, and which means as you drive through corners, chances of the car tipping over at certain speeds are very high.
He explains that spacers also tamper with the car's suspension system, leading to poor ride quality.
Even on the smoothest roads, you have contours. Now, a car's suspension is designed to absorb the forces of those contours as you drive, because you have road forces, you have dynamic forces. When you put spacers in there, you strain the suspension. So you're likely to damage your suspension components much faster than you would have if you hadn't raised it.
In contradiction, though, Engineer Tony Kavuma, the Chief Mechanical Engineer at the Ministry of Works and Transport, insists that wheel spacers do not really pose a danger to the driver. He says that installing spacers is not illegal.
Ideally, spacers, there are very few, not many people do that in terms of clearance, and you don't have much effect on that. The quality of the ride is also not impacted significantly.
For drivers who feel they cannot do without wheel spacers, Kaganzi cautions against driving at high speeds. So, besides wheel spacers, what is the safer way to alter ground clearance?
If you talk to your car tire dealer, they can work out an aspect ratio and give you a higher tire that will fit within your wheel arch and work well with your suspension.
In addition to bad roads, vehicle owners have to deal with the nuisance of reckless drivers. Nowadays, it is common to see saloon cars with metal guards, rails, or bull bars designed to deter other motorists.
Mulimu abamu najjako bampa y'emmaaso n'azimbirako bulubba. Ate bulubba eba ezitowa frame yaayo eba tesobola giwanirira nnyo.
In the event of an accident, metal guards or rails on a saloon car can make the difference between life and death.
The airbag crash sensors may not be able to work normally if you hit an obstacle and the sensors are not able to detect that obstacle.
So it's a catch-22 situation to install spacers or to allow damage to the car's undercarriage, to install metal guards or to keep suffering dents to your car bumper. In some countries, installing metal guards is illegal, while in others, drivers are being encouraged to install plastic guards for the safety of pedestrians and other motorists. Gillian Nantume, NTV,